Hello everyone, today is December 21st and I want to give you another update on the seedlings that I started. I know I just gave you an update, I think it was on Saturday, on the 16th or on Friday, something like that. But after transplanting the tomatoes and the one cucumber, they've really taken off. Which I guess the old saying is, you know, when something, or maybe not a saying, but when something is in a small container, even if the roots aren't even root bound yet, as soon as you transplant them into a bigger container and the roots can start searching for water and nutrients and have a lot more to work with, they take off. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's my setup. This is the cucumber that I have. It's already starting to, you know, do its little vining thing. It has one set of true leaves and the third one is coming in. Again, I'm not sure how long I'll keep this, just because, you know, I'm limited with the space. But if you look how nice and thick that root is. I mean, I don't know if that you can tell from my finger, but it's not the root, the stem, but it's very healthy. Then you come over to the tomatoes, and you know, if you can remember what they looked like 5 days ago or so, I noticed a difference within 2 days. Because I had my lights, the lights I had were still at the same height when I transplanted them, you know, about an inch or so above. And then 2 days, I didn't check them for 1 day because I knew they didn't need water. But I checked them the second day, and these two, which are the bigger two, they were up against the light. So in 2 days they grew an inch, which is pretty good, I think. Like the strongest one is back here. You can see how nice and furry that stem is and how thick it is. I didn't bother removing the first set of leaves, you know, the original leaves, because I couldn't plant it any deeper than where I was at anyway. These are, you know, maybe 3.5 inch tall pots, 3-inch pots, something like that. But these tomato plants, these two specifically, are growing really well. I mean, they're all doing well. These are the two smaller ones, but each one has a nice thick stem on it, and the leaves are just, for a top view, you know, the leaves are just kind of really branching out. I mean, like, that's a nice looking seedling right there, if I may say so. Again, these are, what are they? They're not quite 4 weeks. So if you, in 8 weeks from now, or in 4 weeks from now, 8 weeks, which is roughly when you should do your tomatoes indoors, I can't imagine how tall they're going to be. Again, I'm not sure how long I'll be able to keep these. I may just keep the best one in a few weeks and then transplant into a bigger pot, because once I start my seedlings, I'll need to keep the light real low on them so they don't stretch and get leggy. And if I have one big, you know, tomato plant that's 6-8 inches tall, I can't keep the light any closer to the other plants than 6 or 8 inches, which will not work. But I could always move them down into the kitchen, or maybe even just set them on the windowsill here, which I may do. That way they're not taking up any space, but they're also still getting the sunlight. And once they're, you know, this size, if they stretch a little bit, it's not as big a deal, because these will be transplanted. I'll probably keep 1 or 2. It's a shame to get rid of the other ones, but, you know, this was a trial, as I said before, and, you know, you always have losses. And even if something's growing well, I'd love to be able to keep all 6 of these, but I don't have the space for it. Thanks for watching.